Big Brother's been on the side of the Monday. Now listen, if Big Brother was a wedding, the main show would obviously be the proud father of the bride, but we'd be the letchy drunk uncle making passes at the bridesmaids, wouldn't we? Stephen and Kimberly, you have been warned. What a show. Here's a recap. Marlon.
Christopher.
Chris.
Ashley.
Because
she's only 18.
It's just no justice.
What a fucking joke.
Try not to take it personally.
She is so rude.
Fucking cheeky bastard.
The housemates facing this week's public vote are Jale, Christopher, Chris, Ashley, Marlon.
It's gonna go on. That is exciting.
Think game. Structured player. Little Chris is a game player.
Are you just gonna live together when you get out of here?
Yeah.
What? Really?
I can't get my head around that.
Does this mean that you are actually a couple?
Kim?
Yes.
Time now to meet tonight's panel. Now, first up, according to a popular girl band, Mondays were always a little bit manic, but I never had to deal with this one. It's Louisa! You're nice in the red. I like that. You look lovely. You look lovely. Next up, it's a woman who believes she can communicate with the dead. So, expect a lot of conversation between her and the audience tonight. This is what I'm talking about. Sally Morgan! She came out of my ass last week. Bang on. And finally, I've got to tell you how excited you are about having this person here, because when I phoned up and said, baby, come on over, she said, I'm right here. I can't believe it. It's Samantha Member!
I love what you did there.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Samantha Mumba. Got a first Claire from Steps. Now I've got Samantha Mumba. Can't I? Now listen, at the end of tonight's show, we saw Stephen asking Kimberly for a tin opener, maybe. Let's take a look at the latest.
See, when he said that statement in the finishing school about like that nutcracker thing,
yeah, that one.
that just disgusted me. You know, this has been shown on national TV. My mum and dad are going to watch that, and you're sitting here laughing.
Marlon he's not naturally one of the cool gang and one of the in crew. He becomes the class clown.
Yeah.
And he tries to say things which he thinks are funny. And so he's become this kind of this real laddish jokey guy that goes on about sex and that kind of stuff, and all this bravado about sleeping with women.
Can you understand as a male how disrespectful, and not just to me, a lot of women?
Yes.
Who the fuck is he to turn around and discuss that with anyone? Who is he? I mean, it's bizarre. Do you actually think in a million years I'd let you anywhere near my body? I mean, it's ridiculous. Do you know what I mean?
I know.
He's actually delusional.
She's fuming! She's fuming! Now listen, the housemates currently facing eviction this week are Jale, Ashley, Chris, Christopher, and Marlon. So Lulu, are the right people up?
I would have liked to see Marlon been given a bit of a break, actually.
Really? Why?
Yeah, because I think that in the last task where he was, you know, talking to the girls, he kind of apologised for the things that he'd said. I think that we need to give him a bit of a break now.
No, we need to move on from all of
Yeah,
that.
we need to move on. Christopher's a bit annoying, isn't he? I don't like that. He is a bit annoying, so I think that he should be up. And Ashley, she was bound to be up, because in the house. But
she got the most noms. She got 6 noms.
Yeah, I'd quite like to see her stay there, because I think she's making it really interesting.
Well, that is the argument. You know, we're picking off the characters.
You know,
She's
we're getting
making it
rid of them
interesting.
soon. We're just going to be left with a really boring house.
Sal, what do you think, babe?
Well, I think that Ashley... I think that they heard the crowd, you know, I think they heard everyone...
Do you think that's played a massive part?
Massive part in her being nominated. And also she's a threat to so many in the house as well.
What, because of her looks? And...
Yeah, well, I just think that her attitude, you know... I just feel that the people in the house now, where they like to to try and get us to think that they're playing a game. Actually, they're believing it, and it's really affecting their brain. Do you know what I mean?
Whenever Sally Morgan talks, I'm like that.
Yeah!
Tell me I'm going to be rich. Samantha, first of all, thank you for coming on the show. Ultimate
Thank you
fan.
for having me.
Are you surprised at the people that are up?
Not really, to be completely honest. I'd be happy to see Christopher go, though.
Really?
Yeah, I would.
He's been up 4 times now. Do you think he's pushing his luck?
Yeah, I do, actually.
She does.
I'm surprised he's been in this long.
Really?
Yeah, kind of.
Well, we'll see what happens on Friday. But Ashley received the most nominations, as I just said, with 6 housemates putting her up for eviction. So, Louisa, do you think it was the assassin's task that's really kicked this off, where they got to see what was going on?
Yeah, I think it showed her in a bad light, obviously. But I really liked her in that task. I just thought about time, like she did something and that she spoke. But I agree with Sally. I think that they've heard the boos, and when you're in there, it's all very tactical. You hear someone being booed, you're going to put them up for eviction, because if you're up, chances are they're going to go before you. And these people aren't stupid, you know. They're
very clever.
They all did have IQ tests.
Yeah.
I don't know how they did or what the test was like, but they did have IQ tests.
We haven't actually seen this test. It might have just been a paint by numbers.
Yeah.
We genuinely do not know. But Helen said that she was sick of hearing that she's only 18. So, Samantha, do you think that is an excuse? Do you think, like, you know, everyone's saying that she's only 18. Is it an excuse just to get away with because she's young? Or?
I mean, I don't find it that shocking that she's 18. I'm actually surprised she's not more fun or kind of the mad one of the house, you know.
Could you have done it at 18, do you think?
I don't think I could do it now. To be totally honest. But no, she's a bit moany, isn't she? She's kind of acts like an owl, and she's like, she is only 18. I'm surprised. She's just a bit boring.
Well, listen, let's move on to Chris, because Stephen said he's not trusted him since he thought he was the powerhouse mate. Lulu, do you think that's a fair reason for nomination? We're going back a few weeks now.
Yeah, I think it was a bit of a pathetic reason. I think Stephen probably couldn't think of anything else, so he just thought, I'll say that.
Well, Jolly said that he doesn't relate to the group as a whole. Sal, why do you think he's still not?
I think he's playing a game. I think he's watching his back. You know, first of all, I thought he could be a winner. But now I've really got this sense of Jarlath. I mean...
Really?
Yes, I mean...
Well, it's coming out Sally Morgan's back!
I just think that she's, at the moment, I mean, it could change, but at the moment, she seems to be the only one speaking the truth.
Well, let's be fair, regardless of last week, she's been up every single week and been saved.
Yeah, well, there's just... But with Chris, I think that he really wants to be Mr. Cool. He's a bit of a... You know, he's quite smug, and I can see how the others are feeling quite threatened by him.
I think it's
Winston also picked up on it, though, didn't he?
Yeah, he's an enigma. You know, he doesn't want anyone to know him, and yet really, we all know him, really, don't we?
I think he's quite insecure.
Yeah.
I spent some time yesterday, Yeah, with some of his friends.
Yeah.
And got to know more about his character, and I actually don't think he's smug. I think he's quite insecure and very socially sort of awkward.
Sam, what do you think he needs to do to obviously get a bit more involved in the group?
I think, like they're all saying, just open up and just show more of his personality. Is it just me? I just think he's the image of Daniel Bedingfield. I watch him. Oh, God! That really throws me off.
Oh, God, now you've said it.
Sorry, I know that's very random.
Oh, no, Sam, you've just ruined the whole series now. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. Listen, let's move on to Christopher / Daniel Bedingfield, whatever. Helen said that he mugged her right off by not inviting us to the Christmas party. Lulu, do you think she just needs to get over it, or do you think she's got a point?
I think Helen needs to get over a lot of things in her life, this being one of them. I think, and also, like, she was like, I've been good for a week, I should have been at the party. Well, you've been a complete bitch for 4 weeks. And he hasn't forgotten that, you know. We can't forget what Helen is really like. And, you know, hopefully she'll go on and we'll keep seeing the Helen that she's putting on, and I do think it's a put on, and she's going to not be able to keep it up for much longer.
Well,
I think it's right not to invite her.
I don't think she's putting. I think she's really toxic.
I think that she's put on niceness for the last week.
Put on niceness.
But horrible Helen is the real Helen.
She is like extreme. She's got a problem. I mean, she really has a problem. That girl, she really has. What it is, she's actually quite sad, and she's out there really to say to people, I'm tough. And I can do what I want to do, but actually, she's really quite a sad person.
This is no excuse how she behaves, but she hasn't had a very nice life, and I think she carries a lot of that with her, which makes me have a bit of sympathy for her, but not much, because everybody's got issues and you all move on with those.
Let's quickly just move back to Christopher, obviously, in the idea of fairness, obviously. Sam, what do you make of Christopher as a housemate?
He's boring. I'm not interested.
Yeah.
I'm just not
Really?
interested. Sorry.
Not interested at all.
Not at all.
Not at all. Let's move on to Marlon then. Daniel was offended that he said he wanted to crack the nutcracker. Look, a bottle openers, nutcracker. You don't want to know. Louisa, do you think he's chauvinistic? Oh, it's only a Monday, it's not even an eviction.
Someone's made me blush for
I've
once.
never seen it. Had to be Gabby the drag queen, Lulu, do you think he's chauvinistic, or do you think people need to move on from this now?
I think we need to move on from it. And, you know, I'm always flying the flag, calling everyone a chauvinist. But I actually think that Marlon's just a little boy and he doesn't really know, and he thinks it's cool to say those things, and he's learning that it's not cool now. And I think Danielle needs to, she does need her nut cracking, doesn't she? She needs to learn, and I'll crack her bloody nuts soon.
She might take you off on that.
Everyone wants to crack Danielle's nut. Winston's all over it. Marlon, no, what's...
I think there are nuts being cracked.
Well, Danielle's not here to defend herself, so when she comes out, I will ask her for you, Sal, if her nut has been cracked. Finally, let's talk about Charlotte. It's only a Monday. She survived 4 evictions so far, as I said earlier. Lulu, what's she doing right?
I think that Charlotte's actually fallen off the eviction radar a bit, because we're getting so used to her being put up. And she's not really massively offending anyone. She's not really doing anything to warrant being evicted. If it was vote to save, she might not be saved, but I don't think she's going to be evicted. I think she's just going to keep sailing all the way through.
Guys, give him a good chat. That was really good. Well, listen, as always, with Big Brother, you guys can rest assured that things won't be as simple as the housemates believe that they are. Because BB's got a little twist up his sleeve. I'll tell you about that later on in the week. Still to come, we're going to be finding out what happened when Lulu got arty with Judy James, plus Dr. Pam will be here to talk us through the latest dramas. I'll see you after this. Welcome back to Big Brother's Bit on the Side. And like Stephen, we have been giving the main show the finger for years. Now listen, thanks, Kyle. Listen, on a serious note, we have had some complaints about the show that it isn't, I know, thanks, that it's not highbrow enough. So we sent Louisa off with Judy James and some of housemate Chris's friends to get some culture.
Oh, hi.
Hi, Louisa. I'm Christian. Chris is pal.
Nice to meet you,
I'm
Christian.
Rob, another friend of
Hi,
Chris.
Rob. So you're friends with Chris?
Friends of Chris, yeah.
How do you think he's getting on?
Good. I think he's had a tough couple of... First 2 weeks were quite tough, but I think he's doing well now. He's settling in, maybe a little bit
He got
quiet.
a bit bullied, didn't he?
He did,
I think there's a couple of overbearing personalities
Did it make
that he
you
doesn't...
sad in your heart?
Yes,
Yes,
yeah.
it did.
There's
First night, we're
Yeah.
looking for a bed. That was awful.
Have you ever shared a bed with Chris?
Tried to.
Really?
I think I have once, but he
Was
was
that
very
when you
protective.
discovered he was
Not gay. He
10%
tried.
gay
Yeah.
when he shared a bed with you?
I think he's like, actually, I won't be gay. I was hoping that he might, swing that way, but he wasn't going for it.
Oh. Sometimes in the house, Chris can be a little bit boring.
I think Chris is being quite reserved. Like, he doesn't want to get involved in the
Politics of the
Politics,
house,
yeah. Like,
yeah.
and obviously, I think as he said himself, Helen is like a drunk dad. She starts, reaching for the alcohol, and everyone scatters. I think if maybe she was gone, or maybe if Ashley had gone, and it was a quieter house, he'd probably start to become a bit more animated. But at the moment, he's like an abused wife.
Is he one of life's victims?
Well, I think he is... no, not one of life's victims, I wouldn't say. I don't think he's playing that part, but I think he might just come across like that because he doesn't want to step up whilst there's other people that will just batter him down straight away.
He's starting to connect with Ashley a lot.
We were saying that on the way up, yeah.
Ashley, but the trouble is, he's a gent, so he won't go there.
Maybe Mark and Chris? Or Christopher and Chris? They're both
Hasn't
gay.
Christopher said he likes Chris? I mean, as in likes Chris. I feel like he did. Yeah, I don't know.
Is Christopher, is he gay?
So maybe Christopher could pop Chris's gay virginity.
Yes, maybe.
Maybe he could. That'd be
Would you like to see that?
I'd like to hear about it, perhaps, but maybe not
see
see it.
to get inside Chris's head then?
That sounds weird, but yes, I am.
So, what's this one about?
This is kind of early Chris, and I think you can see why he would be friends with Matthew there. I would have said Matthew had done this, actually.
Oh, really?
It's quite cynical, it's very intellectual, very smart. This is darker and deeper. You've got two big messages here. One is death, clearly, but the other one, it's hugely about sex and frustration. You know, look at this slightly phallic shape here. It's, again, though very sophisticated and again very cynical. Very much a kind of guy that would not make very close friends. An elephant is an animal that everybody likes. It's quite a smaller elephant, but quite chunky. It's written a suicide note. We've got the really quite dramatic splash of blood. It's such a dramatically sad
It's very sad,
image.
isn't it?
Yeah.
It's very sad. So what does this song tell us about Chris?
Two quite strong messages, actually. One, that he's very strong in empathy, which people like Helen don't have in the house. He's got the ability to turn himself around completely and look back and see what other people are feeling and thinking.
Okay.
But also he's kind of redesigning himself if it is autobiographical. It's as though I don't like the head and the brain that I've got at the moment, so I'm going to paint a new one.
A new one. I really like this one, actually, Judy. Just watch that, Judy.
Another eventful week in there, and there is only one woman who can help me make sense of it all, and she knows more about sex than that girl in Magaluf. It's Dr. Pabs Bar! You're right, darling. Pam, what a week it's been, hasn't it?
Oh, and I am trying to unsee Kimberly and Stephen's sexy time.
Oh, well, listen, this is what I was going to say. The housemaids have been getting a lot closer this week. Let's remind ourselves what they've been up to.
I really enjoy talking to you. It's not like, do you know what I mean? 'Cause obviously you're from the other end, like...
Is that it?
Huh?
Is that it? Is that all you kind of feel towards me?
I think she would have gone every week if she was. I think if definitely Tamara's won. Tamara went.
Tomorrow would still be here, I think.
She would be. This is the first time. Where's your side? I will not touch a single thing. This is the bed. The girl, the one. Aside from you, seriously, like who else? Like Tamara. Toya.
Do you want me to spell it out?
Yeah, spell it out. I would like to be clear. Actually, yes.
I am attracted to you.
Okay.
Cuddle. What we do is we link both arms around there. Okay, here we go.
Like that? Why is my chair running? Is there something going on between Ash and Helen, no?
Ash, could you now reveal who you think is the housemate with the most sex appeal?
Oh, know where this is going. Helen.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
What's she doing? Well, listen, let's talk about Stephen and Kimberly first. Now, Pam, it's all been a bit confusing. What's the body language saying?
Well, in behavioral psychology, there's three main types of flirt styles. And the first one we're going to talk about is Kimberly's, and it's the approach-avoid flirt style. That's where she gives approach signals to Stephen. Like last night, she was a bit snuggly in the program. Then she gives avoid signals like the unresponsiveness of her kiss. Then in tonight's program, she was like rolling her eyes at one point at him, and then sexy time under the covers.
Oh, no!
You know. So it's
do you know what, I'm sitting here like this, and I maybe should have.
It's classic approach-avoid flirting. And what it does with certain personality types, and Stephen has revealed himself to have this, it reels a person in, and a romantic personality type will go for the approach-avoid style of flirting because they have this romantic notion that they can sort it out, that they can make it always approachable. Yeah. And that's what he's done with saying in the diary room in last night's program that he wants to look after Kimberly.
Move
and
in with her.
He's projecting his own feelings of need onto her.
Do you think she likes him?
Oh my God, as I said to you, it's the Spidey factor. Definitely, she's so focused on doing things that get her somewhere. And even if it means like tonight, you know, having that sort of fumble under the covers, it means that she knows she's getting the camera action. Do not underestimate
She's
Kimberly.
getting a bit more than camera action, Pam. That's what I'm saying. Listen, let's move on to Helen and Ash. He says he only sees her as a friend. As our sexpert, What do you make of that?
Well, the thing is, when he was talking about it and saying that it evolved from fancying her into friendship, he was being very genuine. His body language was genuine. But, and it's a big but, in that spooning that he does with her, if his Eiffel Tower, in Winston's words, gets the opportunity, he would definitely go further with Helen again.
You reckon?
Definitely, even though right now it feels like a friend. If that, yeah.
But how
if he has
does,
that
how does
opportunity.
her actions affect his feelings?
Excellent question, Ryland.
Thank you. Thank you. You don't mind if you don't mind.
The thing is, the next type of flirting behavior that we see in behavioral psychologists is the avoidant flirt. And Helen is the classic avoidant flirt. She has managed to become very close to Ash. She confides in him, but she's never flirted with him, despite the fact she went all girly and revealed her attraction to him when he nominated her as the most sexy housemate. And it's her avoidant, flirtatious style that means that eventually he's evolved away from thinking there's a chance.
Do you know what? I just sit here and I just want to take it all in, but I have to speak. But I am getting exactly what you're saying. Let's move on quickly to the most unlikely pairing in the world, Danielle and Winston, or Wanielle, as Ian Lee likes to call them. As a pairing, what's going on now?
Okay, well, like Kim, Danielle has the approach avoid flirt style. So she gives him approach.
So she's got the same style.
Yeah, she gives him approach signals, and she does all that sort of cozying up, and then she does the avoid. So no spoons, and she was very
But yet she'll
no
get in the
spoons.
beds.
Exactly. So again, Winston has been slower to be reeled in than Stephen, but the thing is they're both sexually primed. And even though their body language is awkward together, you've got to remember that first kiss with Tamara up in the pod in the first week, how awkward that was.
Yeah, that was awkward.
And he's so bulked up. I mean, come on, Rylan, he's got a body like yours. He's so bulked up that his body language doesn't have a smooth flow. So there's definitely attraction there.
Well, let's have a quick reminder of how that all kicked off.
Okay.
So who was the geezer in your dreams then?
Who do you think it was?
You tell me. What was it? Were you getting quite excited then in your dream?
No. You can that right down.
Did I have a kilt on?
No. You did not have a kilt on. But then after that, I thought, that's quite strange. Maybe I'll talk to him more.
So Pam, it's a bit funny. What have you picked up?
Well, the thing is, early on when I was writing self-help books, I wrote 2 dream analysis books. And one was all about your sexual dreams. And her dream sounds like it was all about wish fulfillment. And
And wishful thinking?
Wishful thinking too, yeah. But she is sort of reeling him in. And the thing is about wish fulfillment, it's your unconscious mind throws forward these dream images. And the unconscious mind does not lie. So she feels real desire for him. And if you saw her talking in the diary room about him in yesterday's show, and where she was laughing to Big Brother saying, why are you laughing? She was literally squirming, awkward, saying this, squirming with her thighs and her hands, giggling, talking about him. All these massive...
This turned into a mucky show tonight, Pam, isn't it?
Oh, my fault. All these sexual signals she was giving out, again, because she's at her sexual peak. No matter what she says about her values, he has touched something within her sexuality.
Oh, glad you said sexuality, because otherwise we got taken off here. Well, listen, let's move on, because with a third of the series already gone, the housemates should be fully settled in there by now. I think it's quite easy to say. But what qualities do you think that they need to survive in there?
Okay, usually towards the end of the series, I talk about LTR, long-term resilience. The
Yes, you
special
do.
forces look for it, but because there's no emotional strength and structure in this house, we're talking about it tonight much earlier than we normally would. And what people need for LTR is to show that they can keep their emotional focus, they don't waste emotional energy, and that's what keeps them sort of strong.
Who's showing us that?
Well, good people showing us that. Jale's doing it, Chris is doing it, Stephen is doing that quite well, and Winston. None of them have gotten involved in huge rows that take away their emotional reserves of energy.
Who do you think then is well, I think it's quite obvious, if going on the opposite to that, it's maybe Helen and the rest are struggling?
Oh, Helen, Ashley now, because Ashley was showing strength for the first few weeks, being that reactor, as I said last week, where she just kind of observed a lot. But also Marlon. So Marlon with his infantile streak, if he keeps having those little strops, particularly now that he's up for eviction this week, he just wastes that energy. Helen, if she keeps having her little strops, and Ashley, and let's watch Ashley and Helen this week, because although in
But
last
this is
night...
what I was going to say. We've got Psychic Sally in tonight. Every Monday, you have said something and it's happened later on in the week. What should we be keeping our eye on this week?
Well, we've got to keep an eye on Helen and Ashley, because in last night's show they had an uneasy truce. If you looked at their body language, they were mirroring defensiveness to each other, but they were talking friendliness. But now that Ashley's up for eviction and Helen's going to be happy, you know, because Ash isn't, there's going to be ructions. Ashley's already saying again about, the hate crew. And I think we've got to watch those two this week.
Do you think that they could really come to blows this week, the two of them?
I don't think they'll come to blows, because Helen is so aware that she cannot overstep the mark. You know, she's listened to what Big Brother's given her with that formal warning.
Yeah.
Ashley hasn't had a formal warning, and let's see what happens if anything erupts with her, because of the fact that she, underneath it, is so angry. Even though she says she wants to go, she did not want to be up for eviction this week.
But knowing what Helen's like, is that good for her to hold that in?
Is
it going to get to a point where she holds so much in and she's just going to end up getting kicked out of
The
there?
pressure cooker effect. The thing about Helen, if she wouldn't hold it in, if she'd actually just talk about it, kind of like she did with Winston the other night. Exactly. When Winston challenged her about, why didn't you include me? And Winston, why didn't you save me last week? And she actually got a bit angry with him, but she managed it, and they came to an end of the conversation. If she can keep doing that and manage that pressure cooker effect, then I don't think we'll see any major blow-ups.
Please give it up for Dr. Pam Spur. I love this so much. I wanted 2 parts tonight. Still to come, we're going to be hearing what our panel made of tonight's show, plus we'll be getting all the latest gossip from the house. I'll see you after this. Big Brother's bit on the side. And do you know what? Like Stephen, we love a packet of crisps in bed at night, don't we? I mean, obviously, that's what you meant by open it, wasn't it? Time now for another exclusive. And as part of today's shopping task, 2 housemates got the chance to see a very special message.
Hi, honey. It's me, Mum. How are you? Hope you're coping really well. I just want to put you in the right directions with a few pointers for you. I just want to tell you to have fun. I mean, we all agree with this, actually. We should have fun. It's a great experience for you. It's once in a lifetime experience. Just one more thing to say, and that's to do with your smile. Your smile is beautiful, and I would love you to show the housemate and the whole public more often your beautiful smile.
I am so proud of you. And to see you being a 23-year-old is really, really superb for me. Just be aware that the closest person to you in the house, and that you don't want history repeating yourself. You've got hurt already last year and you don't want it to happen again. So just make sure that your feelings are mutual, and make sure that you understand the definition of dating. And if you're happy after that, then we are totally 100% happy too.
You just love Stephen's mum! Right, there's loads more to talk about, so let's start with Christopher. Lulu, do you think it was quite harsh that he got that Christmas task the day before noms?
Yeah, I felt a bit sorry for him, because then they all nominated him after that task. It was quite fun, though, to see him have a little bit of power. I think he quite liked that.
Maybe he might be a good next powerhouse, mate.
It was unfortunate, because then they all nominated him, and then we saw him going to the diary room. Why have I been nominated?
Yeah, but in all fairness, Sal, he's been up for 4 weeks now. Why is he such a target in there?
Well, I think he's easily led. I think that he's very indecisive. He's unpredictable. Actually, when I look at Christopher, I see a lot of Marlon. They're quite similar.
Really?
The only difference is Marlon's really afraid of his own shadow. You know, Marlon...
We ain't afraid of his reflection,
You
is
know?
he? Loves them mirrors.
But they're quite similar. I don't know why, but they've got a lot of characteristics. I think that Christopher, I think I'm not. I think that Christopher is he's unpredictable, boring. He is boring too. He is boring. Yeah.
Sam, how do you think he's coping with being sort of one of the least popular in the house?
I don't know, he just kind of reminds me, when you're younger and you have a big group of friends and there's always that one person that's always there, but you kind of don't notice them.
Well, yes, I don't. A bit like Marlon.
I'll be totally honest, I just can't put my finger on him, but I just think he's really, I don't know, I feel bad for him, but I do think he's very boring.
You fell for him.
A follower, not a leader, yeah.
Well, listen, let's move on to Chris. Helen's branded him the biggest game player in there. Lulu, is she right?
I think she is right. I think Chris and Ashley and Kimberly are the biggest game players. And so they should be. This is Big Brother. This is a game. Like, I think, call it what it is. They're all in there to win it. Whatever they say, I want to go home and all this crap. They all in it to win. And Chris is doing what he can do to get to the final. And as he should. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
What are you making of this?
Well, they need to cheer up.
Oh, we are gone, Gabs. You have to get on, shut your legs.
Oh, yeah, well, they need to cheer up a bit. It's very down at the moment. They're all very depressed and it's all sort of, grimy. Yeah, it's the summer now. We need to get it all umphy. I know, obviously, in the bed and things like that, we need see-through quilts, by the way. And, but we need
see-through quilt.
And I've got the wedding ring. And, no, they just need to all cheer up. The Christmas thing, I thought, was all going the right way. There was fun. Everyone was getting on his knee. It showed a bit of difference personality. And I thought, it's all coming out. And then all of a sudden, today, it's all sort of crashed back down again. It's all the depression. They're all getting inside of each other.
Can I just say, how lovely is it to have Gabby in the audience tonight? Lovely. Listen, let's talk about Marlon. Jarlath said he's a sweet guy, but Christopher said he was like an annoying little brother. So, Lulu, what side are you seeing of Marlon?
I think he is a little boy. I think he really is, and I think he's a little boy that tries to be a man. But I still can't believe he's 30. I mean, do we know that he is actually 30?
Well, I don't know for definite, but he's told the housemates he's what, 22? 23.
And
then
he's
now
actually 30.
I think we think he's 30, but I don't know, we'll have to check that.
I'm as confused as Marlon is confused. I just think he's confused and he's like a little kid and I feel sorry for him. Like, he just has a real identity crisis.
Sam, what do you think?
I'm sorry, I'm in shock. He's 30.
I don't know.
Allegedly, I'm way ever someone to tell me.
Oh my God. That makes it kind of weird then. As in, because if he was like 22, like, okay, that makes sense. But if he's actually
It's almost
30.
acceptable if he's
We do need to
20.
double check this before we start saying like someone's 80 years old and they're 12. Do you know what I mean? But we will get this checked for the next part, I guarantee you. Sal?
Yeah, it's me that's 30, by the way.
Obviously. Hello. Sally's been using the airbrush makeup tonight. She was loving it. Sal, how's he coming across to you? Like, what's the package with Marlon?
Yeah, I think that he's actually, he's special, isn't he? It's almost as if there's a side to him. He's definitely a follower, he's not a leader. And I think he finds it really difficult to be out there and be Mr. Cool. It's almost as if he's always behind everyone that he considers is cool.
Think he will take the lead at any point?
No, never. He can't do it. He's scared. Like I said, he's scared of his own shadow. He can never do that, Marlon. He's like, he's a special person. He's lovely.
Well, listen, let's move on to Danielle because she is safe this week. Sal, what do you think she's doing right to be safe?
Well, I think Danielle is, by sort of playing up to Winston, which I think is...
Do you think it is that?
Oh, God. I mean, she's enjoying the flattery. I mean, what is wrong with him? Do you know what I mean? What is he doing? What is wrong with him, though? What is wrong with him?
I think Winston's really horny.
Yeah, but I think... but I mean, you've got to be...
I mean, poor Tamara.
Yeah.
I feel for Tamara.
Well, I think there were girls out there.
A week.
I know, but a week and there's like a year.
Yeah, it must be. It's like there must be girls on the outside thinking, what is he doing? She's like an old woman, isn't she, really? When you look at her, she's frumpy and she's full of all this holier than thou. It's like, please, hang on a minute. What are you ashamed of? There's nothing to be ashamed of. She needs to really lighten up. Do you know what I mean?
Does.
And I think that what she's doing is she's playing up to him because she wants to be part of the gang.
Well, this is what I was going to say, Sam. Do you think with her aligning herself to Winston, that's her gameplay to make sure she's safe?
Definitely.
Go on, Sal. Sounds lovely. Go on, girl.
No, definitely. And I agree. I think she's loving that attention.
Yeah.
I think her nut was cracked a long time ago.
Well, she ain't here to confirm, not deny that,
I'm
rumour.
not buying it for a second. But I get a huge kick out of Danielle. I actually think she's the most entertaining housemate because I just think she's mad.
Well, do you know what? Listen, give her a dues. You might not be a fan of Danielle, but she has given us some... You know, she's given a bit to the show.
And not that I'm a fan of her. I don't necessarily like her. I just find her very entertaining.
She's a great housemate.
What comes out of her mouth is
is a good
hilarious.
She is hilarious.
But Lulu, we've got a very big question for you. And it's probably the most important question of the night. Have you picked up any flirting techniques from her?
No.
There you go. We're listening to Tonight Show. Stephen and Kimberly took their relationship to the next level. And I can't believe we're saying this, but if you need a reminder, here it is. I really wish the cameras were rolling in here during that. I've lost it.
Oh, please.
Lulu, I can't believe I'm going to talk about Stephen's mum after seeing that, but you did meet his mum. What do you think she's going to make of that?
Do you know what? Stephen's mum is one of the coolest. She's nearly as cool as my mum.
She's amazing, Stephen's mum.
She is such a lovely woman. I think that she'll be sitting at home with her lovely big family, pissing themselves laughing. And they will, and I think, you know, they're such a nice family, and they're just going to be like, oh, for God's sake.
Good luck to him.
Yeah, I mean, it is cringy. She'll probably cringe a bit, but do you know what? It's just...
Sal, listen, this is the time of the show we need the psychic powers,
Yeah.
right? What was
Well,
going on under that sheet?
Well, she wasn't scratching her leg, that's for sure. I mean, that's for sure. That is for sure. She was like, you know, he was having a good time. I mean...
He was having a lovely time,
He was
wasn't
having a lovely time, yeah. She was...
What are they opening, though? Open it!
Do you not? I'm really sorry, but I think I've got to move on from this. I can't deal with it. Give them a round of applause. Still to come, Sally and Samantha will be poking about in the reality gallery. That's what you're doing. Plus, we're going to be catching up with all the latest news. I'll see you in a bit. And do you know what? We're more obvious than Mark's riddles and we go further than Stephen's right hand. Here's the news. They're a good bunch today. At 1:53 this afternoon, after Stephen received his message from home, he took Kimberly to bed for a bit of clarification.
You cannot expect me to hear messages like that and to sit back.
Did she say something specific, though?
When you came into this house, you told me you were dating.
Yeah.
When I asked you if you had a boyfriend, you told me you were dating, and we laughed and joked about the fact the Americans say dating.
Yeah, I know.
Now, the fact of the matter is she's asked me to clarify that word with you, which says to me...
No, I was in a relationship. It just makes me sound really pathetic.
But why does it make you sound pathetic? You're telling me that you know, ask the question, you've gone and you've not split up with him.
We had a conversation about it. Like, we just didn't want to make it public. Like...
So what the conversation you had with him, was it, we are no longer together, we are now single?
Yes.
Don't cry. Please don't cry.
Everyone's just gonna hate me.
Stop it. Every fucking time I get myself in fucking shit like this. Stephen, you're a twat.
Well, listen, after those clear the air talks, Big Brother called Kimberly to the diary room just to make sure she was all right.
Big Brother just wanted to have a little chat with you, just to check that you were okay.
I'm probably not okay. No, I would say I'm not okay. I just feel like a horrible person, actually.
Why do you feel like that?
Because I wasn't supposed to come in here and fall in love with someone. I wasn't supposed to do that. My main priority, I know I'm supposed to be social and try to speak to people, but it's more important than, like, just this house. Like, I need to speak with him more and make sure he understands that we're on the same page, because I want to walk out of here and I want to still have what him and I have. The most dear to my heart relationship that I have in here, whether that's an intimate or just friends, it is the one that I have with Stephen.
Do you know what though? No one expects to fall in love, Kim. That's why it's the most magical and wonderful thing in the world. And this afternoon, love was very still much in the air. And we know you lot at home love seeing dogs on TV. So here's Danielle. And her beloved Chihuahua Coco. Sorry.
Welcome to Big Brother's App Zone. Okay. The BB app on offer to you now is the Pet app. Danielle, what do you think this might be?
Maybe to get to see Coco, my Chihuahua.
This BB app will allow you to spend some time with your pet dog Coco in the diary room.
Oh my god. Thank you so much.
Danielle, how much have you missed Coco?
More than I've ever missed anything in my whole life.
How did you come up with the name Coco, Danielle?
Coco Chanel's one of my favourite designers, and you know, she always said that a woman should be two things, classy and fabulous. And that's how I like to see myself and little Coco.
Classy and fabulous. Do you know what, Dan? That is you right down to a T. And the way you hold a hot dog. And that's the news! Amazing face. It's time now to head up to the reality gully where Sally and Sam are. Girls, what's going on?
Well, Mark had to give up his grooming product as part of today's task, which he wasn't happy about, and he kicked a beanbag as he went to go pick it up.
Oh, that poor beanbag.
Yeah.
Couldn't
Poor
cope.
beanbag. Sal?
And Stephen confided in Helen about Kimberly.
No.
He said, when she's in here, it's fine, but when she's out of those doors, I have no control. He then goes on to say that he doesn't know if he can trust her. No.
Really?
Sam?
Danielle and Ashley have a right old bitch about Kimberly. Danielle said she's very monotone. So why would the public want to watch her as they won't be able to relate to her?
Sal gone?
Yeah, and as part of the task, Chris and Christopher were offered the chance to watch body language expert Judy James chat about their fellow housemates.
Oh.
And they both refused.
However, Marlon and Ash jumped at the chance to find out what Judy thinks about Stephen and Kimberly's relationship.
Oh, girls, can I just say, how great have them two been tonight? Thank you so much for coming on, girls. Love you lots. Lots of love. Oh, amazing. Right, it's time now to get digital with Ian and Louise. So what we got going on, guys?
Right, I've got loads of stuff here. Let me just open it. We've got a task tomorrow. Very important task tomorrow.
Task. Go on.
Two housemates are going to be given the opportunity to take over our Twitter page.
What?
Yeah, as part of this week's task.
Is this like them rumours that there's Twitter in the house?
Yeah, it's not actually. They're not actually on Twitter reading everything. It's a controlled environment that we're going to provide.
Before you start tweeting and all of that, it's a controlled environment.
Yeah, if they decide to take it, they'll be able to set questions for the fans to answer. So
That's
make
a
sure
nice
you
little,
watch it. You're following
exclusive.
us. BB UK, follow us on Twitter and we'll have all the details tomorrow.
Amazing. What else
we've got tweets about the nominations. Are the right people up? Louisa?
Mrs. Mook, or MC, says, unless Helen's past the final is removed, the right people will never be up, but it's not going to be removed, I don't think. Zach says Stephen needs to be up so he can get out and watch himself back and see how stupid he is. Poor Stephen. Kelly Stedman says Marlon to go. If members of Helen's gang stay, she thinks that she's innocent. Get Marlon out this week. Pamela says, looks like they're going for the easy vote. Chris and Christopher are a big threat to the rest and Kimberly should be up. Did I just read all your tweets?
I've got some more.
Sorry,
Go on,
babe.
Ian. Like we asked, are the right people up? And so Fincher replied, I couldn't give a shit.
Oh,
thanks, babes. Finchy, keep them
Cheers,
coming
babes.
in. And Dude 1979 says, I'm amazed no one thinks Jarlath should go. She sided with Helen and she's betraying people like Chris who stood by her.
Oh, well listen, just very quickly, just to remind you, obviously, at BBUK, follow us on Twitter because you will have a chance to maybe connect with our housemates.
Oh, yeah.
Guys, give it up for these two. That's all we've got time for tonight. A massive thank you to all of my guests and our fantastic audience. Emma's going to be here tomorrow, where she's going to be joined by Ben Adams, Patrick Strudwick, and Nikki Graham. I'll be back on Friday for the 5th edition of the series. Night night.